get some benefits. But
Yes.
there the question having some benefit to have value, the benefit must be realized. Here the word
Yes.
must be, I just keep it in mind, because must be, that means it possibly in timely manner what we have already decided before, already predicted before the starting the project. That's why I choose this timely manner. Okay, as early as possible, it's very good for the project, any project,
Mm.
but it's not possible for all type
Mm.
of project. If you are keeping in mind any project, any, like if you are just making a software, so
Mm.
software deliverable after the completion stage, and almost 90%, 60%, and the benefits will be start after the implementation. I
Mm.
thought that keep in mind, and then after I just choose this answer in timely manner.
Yes.
What we assumed or what we expected
Mm.
before starting the project.
Mm.
That's why I choose B.
Excellent. 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 This is the actual answer, Jay. This is the actual answer
Okay.
for A, question A. This is the right answer, and this is the very right approach to answer the question, to understand the question. What is the exactly the Sachin, he raised a one very good point. This is that's written in the benefit must be realized. Must be realized. That's mean a very important thing. This is very important thing to understand it. Must be realized. That should be in time manner.
And
You
if
cannot
it's
say
be
I
okay, we
need
can say
benefit
it's
this one.
may, possible it's be available in, it's may be realized, so we can say okay, this is possible, as possible, it's very beneficial for us.
Yes,
But I
yes,
just choose this must, that's why I choose B.
yes, yes. You're right. And the second thing, it's very good approach as well. Very good approach to answer this question. Great, Sachin. Okay, next question, second question, which is the best way of selecting a project other than other things being constant? So, J answer it A, and Sachin answer it B. J, defend it.
IRR, internal rate of return.
Yes. What was
Yeah,
the
it should
thing?
be maximum.
Yeah, it should be
Maximum.
highest or maximum. Okay. What about Sachin?
Okay, from my side, why I choose B, there are also one like just that because why payback period is low, because we don't know the market realization after some times, or 1 week, one year, 2 year, 3 year. Okay, if I just choose a lower payback and other things are constant, is must and is more beneficial to me, because my money is not stuck up. Second thing is there, the IRR rate and NPV and BCR, this is constant. But if the payback period is large, like 5 years, 6 years, 7 year, we are just assumed. And
Hmm.
on that time, if the market having some any other new systems are coming, or some market strategy also will change, so it will
Hmm.
be effect in our return, and that's why I chose the payback period instead of the IRR, NPV, and BCR.
Okay. Here, your point of view is a little weak, Sachin, and Jay's point is better than you because he has a shortened view, but he has a good point. As we mentioned in our last lecture, this was a brain dump. If you are going to select a project, you are right. Payback period should be less, but here there is no value. There is no time in the question. How you will say this is lowest period back? Do you have any choice from which project? You don't have any choice. In the question, do you have any choice? You don't have any choice. And the second thing, the all the things which is written in the answers, all the four options, there is no value. There is nothing, and only one thing you have in the answer, that is highest, in which we have to choose it. This is the minimum successful approach. All right, Sechan?
Okay, but there is in these slides you see about this IRR and the payback period. These
Yes,
both are targeted to benefit. Okay, NPV
yes,
and BCR is always, that is also the secondary thing. But the
Yes.
first and second option is also be the increase the project selection ratio. That's why I
Yes.
choose
Yes.
payback. Why? Because of these two other tools are all constant. We just mentioned in the question. Other things
Mr.
being
Akbar,
constant.
I should the answer should be both A and means the maximum IRR plus payback. Both should be the answer.
Okay,
Yeah,
Not
both
but
should
just
be
actually,
answered. Okay,
what
but
I'm telling you, Sachin, the question
yes,
is not stated that you have two options for payback
yes,
period.
correct,
yeah.
correct.
There is
So I
nothing.
choose an
That's also
There
IRR.
correct.
is nothing.
IRR.
There is nothing to choose in between two projects, three projects. You are not given a choice. If you are given a choice, then you can also say, okay, this project has a low, limited or less payback period and lowest period payback period. Then I will choose this one. You don't have choice here. You are going to say about this statement only. That's
Okay,
why you should choose uh, the the first option. Okay, third question. The project manager has been brought in long before initiating the project is complete. Often the first task of the project manager performed while uh, initiating a project. कौन सा स्टेप लेना होगा बताएंगे ए बी identify key deliverable based on business requirement, participate in the development of project, conduct benefit analysis to validate project alignment, perform project assignment. Oh, J given the answer about this B and such an D.
I chose D.
Yes. J, can you defend your answer?
Yeah, means we'll have to initiate by preparing the project charter. Before starting any project, we have to initiate with the first step, that is um, preparation of project charter. Means
Project charter.
preparation of documents and all. That is what we called project charter.
Okay. Before the project charter, do you have anything?
Documentations. No, this is the initiation step, first step.
First step, initiation step.
Yeah,
Okay.
initiation.
Okay. For your point of view, you are saying that initiating from starting from the project charter, right?
Yes.
Okay, Sachin.
Here in this question, I am little confused because there is some mention like that initiating the project is complete. So there
Hmm.
are two scenario. If the initiation means the pre-deliver like the feasibilities and the deliverables, identify key deliverables for the business requirement, all are completed. Then after if we start, then it's a project charter is also correct. But if we are discussing the starting of the project selection and
Hmm.
the deliverables, on that time which need to assess first the evaluate feasibility of the project and the
Hmm.
key deliverables then after, and then participate with the project charter after beneficiary benefits and all the things and feasibilities, all the things will be completed. That's why I choose D. But there are some two scenario in my mind on that time, so I don't know what corrects.
Okay. Okay. No problem at all. Now, the thing is, uh, although the answer is right from Sachin side, it's good, but you don't have your clear opinion, you know.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
I am just confused because of this two sentences. I just
yes,
like that. I just confused because these two
I'll
sentences
explain
are
here.
just okay.
Yes,
Because
I,
if this is completed, if just mention completed, then only we can see okay, this project all before the things are all completed and the project charter is the first stage for initialization.
hmm. Okay.
But if not complete,
Now,
then this is feasibility.
now we will explain it. No problem.
Yes.
First of all, you have a project. You have to select. You have an organization. One first of all, especially J, you have to clear your idea, clear your vision. You have a project first of all, and you need to many projects. You have maybe one, two, three project. Organization need to select one of them. So first of all, what they will do, they will select the project selection method. They will select the project while using these project selection methods. Okay. After the selection of the project, they need to check the feasibility. They need to check the feasibility. And question is stated here: the project manager has been brought in long before initiating. Such an point of view is wrong here, that it's all thing done. No, project manager is brought in long term before the initiating. That's mean still we are not initiating. We are not in initiating. Jay,
Yes,
this
yes,
is
yes,
not
yes,
first.
sure.
This is
This
the
is the
condition.
confusion.
Yes, this is the
This is the
confusion for
confusion.
J as well, because the first step of the project is the first step and the legal document, which is you are right, is a project charter, the legal document and legal binding. But here question is stating that project manager brought long before the initiating. That's mean what we are doing here in before the project initiating. Some activities we are doing. That's mean we are selecting the project and we are making feasibilities. These are the things what we are doing right now. That's why when you select a project and then you will make a feasibility, then you will make a project charter. After that you will make it. So still you are in that condition, and you have a projects, and then you select it, then you make a feasibility. Still this is the, so long before that's mean project charter. This is the initiating stage. Initiating stage is starting from in it here. Okay,
Okay.
Yes,
clear
correct,
it
correct.
now?
That is that's I also long before initiating and I choose this one, but the
Yes,
complete and completed having some doubts for me. Okay.
yes. uh, Jay, are you clear right now?
Yeah, clear, clear.
Okay, great. So नेक्स्ट आज का जो हमारा टॉपिक है वो है इंटीग्रेशन. We'll discuss about integration management. But here, let me clear first of all. We are going to start. We have finished the before initiating. We have finished, and our question was also for that purpose as well. Before initiating, we have some steps like we make feasibility, we project selection, some environment considerations, and other terms as well for PMP. Now we are going to start our first chapter, first thing which we are going to start now. First process, which is called what? First process of the PMP, first process of the project, which is called project charter. That is project charter. And don't remember it. Don't remember this one. No need to memorize it. No need to memorize it. Don't worry about memorization, because we are going to start initiating process group. And in PIM book 6, I'm referring the PIM book 6, but that's why I'm telling you don't memorize it, because we'll discuss about the topic, not the chapter, not the process group. No, we will clear our topic. If we clear our topic, you can understand everything in the question. So first step is project charter. So first step, legal document which we are going to create. That is actually in the project integration management. So project integration management, that's mean you are coordinating all the knowledge areas, all the steps which we have to do in the planning section, in the initiating section, and in the monitoring and controlling section, and closing section as well. So communication, schedule, scopes, stakeholder resource, procurement, quality, risk, and cost, they are all involved in integration management. And the project manager is an integrator who integrate all the sectors, all the departments, all the planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, all the section in the project who is responsible, like orchestra. I think in the first lecture we discussed that one. In like orchestra, he is handling everything. He is handling everything like a musician, orchestra. So keep all the aspect of the project integrated, coordinated in line the in line with project success criteria. Make decisions, enable the team to execute the project. So that's why we are started here for integration to understand the first step of the project. The first step that is the project charter, and that is a legal document. Along with other activity, the PM makes decision in order to identify, evaluate, allocate resources, balance competing demand of the constraint, examine alternative approaches to carry out the project work, tailor to process the meet project objectives, and manage dependencies among the knowledge areas. Knowledge areas, don't worry about it. Nowadays, what are the things that are emerging practices in the integration management right now in the market and in 2022 after 2020, especially after COVID? Many things are now integrated to this in integration management. Actually, use of automation tools. Definitely, we have a new tools. Use of visual management tools that we have in new software for handling the project management and handling different schedule, cost, quality, resource, other things as well in the projects. So we are using that visual management tools. These are called project knowledge management. That historical information we what we did, we keep our information for our future projects. The capture and retain knowledge when deploying a transitory workforce. Expanding the project manager responsibility. Definitely nowadays, project manager have more authority than 20 years back. But in 20 years back, like to 2000 or before 2000, project manager has a limited authority, limited activities which you have to done. But now they are giving more responsibilities to lead the initiating process, including creation of business case, even though he is not responsible for business case and benefit management plan. But nowadays, project sponsor actually, he is involving the project manager. That's why the question sometimes stated that project manager brought on long before the project initiation so that he can help the project sponsor to start up the project, to start up that project. Hybrid methodology. Nowadays, we are using as well hybrid methodology, which is together agile and waterfall as well. Do you remember the agile methodology and waterfall methodology? Is there any confusion about these two things? Jay and Sachin, anyone? Can you explain what is agile? What is agile and what is waterfall?
Waterfall giving a scope, cost, and the time is predefined. And for agile, only the scope is predefined. Other things will be changeable during the
Both
project execution.
both statement are same. How you differentiate? Both statement.
No,
Waterfall.
cost.
What?
Agile means yeah. Complete Sachin. Carry on.
Yes,
Yes,
Sachin.
agile. Only the scope is predefined. Other things will be changed as per the project requirements. For the waterfall, scope, cost, and time, three all are predefined before the starting of the project.
All the things will predefine in waterfall.
Predefined, yes.
And what about the agile? If we want to change the scope, then can you change it?
Yes, we can change it, but before the starting of this scope, maybe is roughly or maybe roughly all planned. Only cost and time is changeable, I think.
Okay.
As per my.
Okay.
Okay,
So
we can
Jay,
change scope as well, but this is also effect on the cost and time. It will be accomplished.
okay, Jay.
Yeah, and agile means we'll have to change our strategy and different step of project as per requirement at that time.
Okay,
That is
then
agile.
waterfall.
Waterfall means scope will remain scope and that time will remain the same. It's waterfall.
Remain or what you will do about that scope and what you will do about the time and cost?
That will not change. That will be the
That
same.
will. Okay, but when you are going to plan them, when you are going to execute them, then what will be the schedule for the planning? The main difference between agile and waterfall is the planning of the activities and deciding of the timing.
Yes, correct.
So Jay, you have any idea about that? No, I think not.
About?
Anyway, refine your knowledge. Again, no problem. Basically, waterfall, that's mean predictive approach. The second name of the waterfall is predictive approach. Predictive means you are going to plan everything, every activity, everything, cost, scope, and um, schedule, and everything you are deciding in the early stage of the project, early phase of the project. Yani, first of all, you have to plan, then you will start your activities, then you will start your project. While agile or iterative or incremental approach or change driven approach is to only explain and plan the first iterative or first sprint only, and the rest of the sprint only high level explanation. Otherwise, we will later on we will plan them again. But first sprint you have to plan it first only. The whole scope will not define at the first stage in agile. The main things, the scope of the total scope will be defined, but not planned. Not planned. Plan can be changed. Plan can be changed accordingly and acceptable. If any changes, that they will accept. While waterfall, they are opposing the change, and if you need to change anything, then you have to go through change control board. If they accept it, change will be happen. Otherwise, not happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Only planned
Okay.
scope, only the format of the scope and complete scope is defined. Other
Yes.
scope and other things will be changed during the project.
Yeah,
Uh,
nowadays the organizations and the sectors, they are promoting hybrid methodologies.
the
Basically,
same
in
is
this
about hybrid.
yes, hybrid methodology, they use both, and waterfall and agile, both they are using. Some phase.
Okay, some activity, hybrid, I know some activities, some things, some scopes we will directly define as per the waterfall, and the remaining
Yes,
whatever the change we will expect, that will be in the under the agile. That type of approach we call the hybrid approach, I think.
yes. Jay, if we are talking about the tailoring system, we discussed earlier lecture in our earlier lecture. What you will do in tailoring? What is the concept of tailoring? Jay, what is the tailoring? Can you explain a little bit?
Tailoring.
We discussed it, right? Tailoring. Can you tell me the tailoring? What is the tailoring? No, Sachin, do you have any idea? Little bit, only little brief.
For tailoring, I just say the phase completion and the new phase starting. That between the period, like to come to divide these activities in a phase wise and
Okay,
complete these things by sequential or by overlapping or like that.
okay,
That things I can say as per my
okay. No issue at all.
just also just
Tailoring basically, we have to decide which things we are going to use, how many phases, how many processes we are going to use, which approaches, and we need to see if this project is we are going for integration, which integration processes we have to take the step. So we have to decide. Let's say in front there are 95 or 100 activities in front of you. Then let's say 100 tools in front of you, but you are going to open the one engine, one bike engine or something. You don't need to take all 100 tools with you. Maybe special one or two tools you can use it, because every project have a different output or unique product or unique things. So you don't need to take everything with you. You have to tailor first of all what things you are going to use and what thing you need for that particular project. You have 100 activities and 100 tools in front of you, and you have 100 opportunities, 100 paperwork. You will not use all of them on that project. So you need to tailor first of all, because tailor always take the measurements for everybody special, not everybody one time. Oh, you need for 100 men. No, no. You have to take care the measurements for everybody because everybody have a unique structure. That's why the project also have a unique structure, our unique output, unique locations. That's why you need to tailor them. What activity you need, what things you need, which processes you will use them between during your project life cycle. So first of all, project life cycle, you have to decide type of life cycle, phases involved, how many phases you will use in that. Maybe small project, maybe complex approaches, predictive or adaptive, hybrid, incremental. Which approach you will use? If you are using hybrid, that's mean you are using predictive and adaptive as well. If you management approach, process based on culture and complexity. Which approach you will use? You have to decide it first of all in integration management. Process to foster collaboration, knowledge management. Definite, you have to foster the collaboration processes. Okay, so that every process will coordinate with each other, every department will coordinate to each other for next project, and you will keep the knowledge as well in your repositories. That's been in your lesson learn for OPAs, organizational process assets, which we learned in previous lecture. The OPS is you have to create for your organization as well. Process to restrict, manage changes. Definite, both things are changed, agile and waterfall as well. If you are going to use waterfall, definite you have to restrict the changes as well. If you are going to use agile, okay, manage the changes only. Governance, board structure, stakeholder involvement, reporting requirements, collection and steering information, dissemination of information, lesson learned, identifying benefits, reporting benefits. These are some consideration of tailoring. After that, if we're talking about the agile method or adaptive consideration, then project manager as an integrator, he will consider everything. Integration team member one, cost, and team member two's resource. You have to see that team member two is two things here: resource and schedule is controlling. Stakeholder, risk, team member three is scope, like this. He has to integrate, and respective activities should be performed by a respective employee or respective staff. Collaborative approach to decision making by the entire team. Some PM task delegated to team, but some of them he will handle it. So he has to decide what I have to do, what I'm going to do, and which of the tasks my team will perform. Higher level and cross team tracking, budget, schedule may still be done by project manager. So here, project manager is going to deal with the stakeholders, communication, procurement, and these things he will handle. Other things he can assign, he can delegate the task. The next, the topic is progressive elaboration. अब मैं इसको मजीद आसान कर देता हूँ प्रोग्रेसिव एलिब्रेशन को, कि जो प्रोग्रेसिव एलिब्रेशन है आइटरेटिव प्रोसेस है, इंक्रीजिंग द लेवल ऑफ डिटेल in a project management plan as a greater amount of information and more accurate estimate become available. Same what we were discussing about the agile methodology. The first sprint you are going to explain it and detail it. Plan should be detailed in first sprint. And the second sprint and third sprint, high level information you will keep it, and then later on when you will finish the first sprint, then you will plan the second sprint. I'm not talking about the phase, I'm talking about the sprint. Baseline plans may only be updated through the integrated change control process. Baselines plan, यहां पर आपको एक बेसलाइन प्लान्स का मतलब है एक प्लान नहीं है. यस सचिन.
What is the difference between sprint and the phase? Phase okay, and it's not similar.
Sprint, yes. Sprint, we have discussed already. We had discussed already. Sprint, and while we were discussing about the agile methodology, do you remember agile methodology If I can go the previous lecture, I think agile, 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 agile. Did we learn about the agile?
Yes,
No, we have just
some
discussed agile.
overview.
We haven't learned in detail.
Okay, let me finish. Later on, we will go through detail in detail. Don't worry. But here I'll
No.
give you some hint about the agile as well. Yes, here we are. No problem. Basically, स्प्रिंट यहां पर आप देखेंगे एक सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप कर रहे हैं आप एक सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री है आपने एक प्रोजेक्ट दिया है सॉफ्टवेयर को और सॉफ्टवेयर बनाने के लिए तो उसने आपको क्या किया कि एक चीज दी कि आपने प्रोक्योरमेंट का जो वरियन है वो कंप्लीट कर दिया एक इंडस्ट्री ने आपको कंप्लीट करके दिया आपने सॉफ्टवेयर जो एक वरियन है एचआर का लेट्स से हम ये कह सकते हैं एचआर नाउ इट्स रेडी एंड टेक एंड यूज इट this is the first sprint now later on they will give you finance later on they will give you logistic so first sprint of the software is an hr so hr system is ready you can use on your computers and hr team can handle everything on the project by their respective duties so hr variant the first variant of the software is ready for your organization but other variants are still awaited because still they are in progress. When they will finish finance section, they will give you an update and the second version of the software. Then third version for logistic. So this is the sprint. Basically, first sprint they will plan it in detail. So they will finish it in first HR activities and they will finish the software for HR. This software you can use it. The second sprint that will be for logistic or anyone else then they will give you second version of the software so first sprint and second sprint then third sprint this is the sprint concept but they will not plan for later on activity no they will plan logistic later on when they will finish the first hr they will say okay the second sprint is logistic or finance or which whatever but they will not give you details about that okay
So we can say sprint as a phases or stages, different stages.
Yes, this is not, you cannot say phases. Phases are different things. But in agile perspective, you can say related to phases, but you cannot say phases because phases have different things. Phases you have to initiate again and same processing, planning and executing and everything. But here you are talking about plan is already there is plan and there is scope that you have to complete the software. This is scope, but detailed scope it is not there in the first step. Later on, you will plan it in a progressive elaboration. That's mean that the progressive elaboration, and you have to change the approach. You have to change the approach. That first step you will plan it and detail plan it. Later step, the second step you will not plan it now. When you finish the first step, then you will plan the second step. Yes. Okay.
Thing this approach is applicable for all type of project.
Yes,
Because,
all types of project.
Software I understand. This is the sprint. We can say okay, different
Yes.
departments will be using
Yes.
directly. But like
Okay.
when bridge construction is there, then how we use these sprints?
Nowadays,
Or like
they are promoting. Nowadays before in 90s and before like near 2000, the agile approaches was only for software industry. Only for software industry. What I'm telling you right now. This is concept. This old concept is as your concept is. You have created your concept. That's mean you cannot use the agile. This is the same concept we were using long time before. From since 1960, we are using the agile methodology is only for software industry. The construction and other industries they were not using agile methodology. Right now, in this world, and every organization and even PMI promote the agile methodology as well. They are using right now hybrid on every project, even construction. They like to accept the changes in next sprint. They are dividing the project into sprint basis right now. if you have, if your client has some query, then okay, we will plan it first, and later on we will decide which color we will use it. Let's say, okay, construction, do not decide until now. We will finish the construction, gray structure, and then we will see which color we will use in interior, in exterior. Later on we will decide it. No need to decide right now, and we'll choose what we will do. And interior base, interior, what we will do about the bridges, okay, we'll construct a baseline, base things, and we will decide what will be the decoration on the bridges. No need to detail right now. This is approach what they are using right now. They need to, they want to use in every sector right now in agile methodology. That's why they are promoting hybrid methodology to use both agile and waterfall. All right.
Okay, understand about this.
Okay. Now there is one word, baseline plans, that what I need to understand, you guys. Baseline plans. There are three baselines in our course, in PMP course. Baseline. First baseline will be the scope baseline, and the second baseline will be schedule baseline, and the third baseline will be cost baseline. So baseline, that's mean we'll go in details about these baselines in our scope management, in schedule management, and cost management. Here I'm giving you a concept about the baselines. Baseline means the initial approved variant of the scope, the initial approved variant of the schedule, initial approved variant of the cost. These called baseline. Baseline plans may only be updated through the integrated change control process. That's mean if you have created a baseline, scope baseline, or schedule baseline, or cost baseline, in case of waterfall, then you cannot change them. You cannot change even one day, even $1, even one thing. You cannot change the scope. You cannot increase the scope until you go to your change control board and raise a request that our client need to change this one. This 1, 2, 3 activity they need to change. Change control board will decide it. Change control board will evaluate. Change control board will analyze the activity which you are going to change. They will see maybe this scope is going to be extended, or cost is increasing, maybe schedule will increase. They will say, okay, is this feasible for our project within our cost? If there is some changes, they will not accept it. And if there are major changes, if there is minor changes, they can accept it, and client will accept as well, because it's initiated by the client, not from your side. That's why if you are going to change the agile methodology, still you are going to process by the change control board, but they will accept it anyway, because you are agreed to use the agile methodology from the starting of the project. Okay. So now we'll discuss about the first step of the PMP course, that is project charter, develop project charter process. Yes, Sachin and Jay, is there any question?
No.
No. One more thing.
Yes.
Just for knowledge. Okay, the client can change for the waterfall type. For waterfall type changes are the waterfall type approaches they are using, and client say some things are to change. So in the agile method, we as a PM manager or as a project manager, we can say this is the better one, and this is we can change in your not a scope but the material wise or any other things.
Yeah, project manager can suggest only.
We can suggest.
You can suggest.
If the supply is, if the owner is approved, then after we can change. Otherwise, we can suggest them that this is the useful and beneficial for you.
Yes. First of all, the first step, project manager need to analyze. First step, project manager need to assess that change. First of all, as you are the project manager, you have to evaluate first the change. What is the change? What it will affect another aspect of the project. Let's say there is one change in scope. This change may affect the cost, may affect on the schedule. You have to see, may affect on quality, may be affect on resource. Anything it can be affected. So that's why You are the first person who evaluate the change. And in especially in exam point of view, this is very important concept. If there is any some changes on the project, first step what the PM will do. First step is to evaluate the change, assessment of the change. What is the change? Is there any due to this change? Is there any changes on other aspect of the project? Let's say schedule, cost, resource, quality. Anything will be changed due to this change? No, if there is any change, then you will request a change from change control board. Otherwise, first step you will stop the change. You will discuss with your client this change. You can give the suggestion as well.
Yes, understand.
Okay. So develop project charter is the process of developing a document that firmly authorize the existence of the project. तो ये सबसे पहला डॉक्यूमेंट आपके पास जो प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर होता है, जो लीगल डॉक्यूमेंट है, वो आपके पास प्रोजेक्ट चार्टर होता है, जो कि प्रोजेक्ट की एग्जिस्टेंस को ऑथोराइज करता है, फॉर्मली ऑथोराइज करता है. लेट्स से कि आप प्रोजेक्ट को स्टार्ट करने जा रहे हैं और ये पहला डॉक्यूमेंट होगा जो आपको प्रोजेक्ट को स्टार्ट करने पे एग्री करेगा और तमाम पार्टीज को, बोथ ऑफ द पार्टीज, क्लाइंट एंड कॉन्ट्रैक्टर एंड पीएम, this document will assign as well as PM authority as well. सो पीएम की अथॉरिटी भी यही देगा और एग्जिस्टिंग ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट ये अश्योरिटी देगा डॉक्यूमेंट. ये डॉक्यूमेंट है, इसका बेनिफिट भी बहुत सारे हैं. प्रोवाइड डायरेक्ट लिंक बिटवीन द प्रोजेक्ट एंड स्ट्रेटेजिक ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, क्रिएट फॉर्मल रिकॉर्ड ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट, shows the organization commitment of the project. This process is performed once at and the predefined point of the project. So ये डॉक्यूमेंट जो होगा ये पहली स्टेज होगी और ये once at the project डिफाइन किया जाएगा, प्री डिफाइंड होगा. प्रोजेक्ट की स्टार्टिंग से भी पहले, यानी जब स्टार्टिंग हो रही हो तो पहला डॉक्यूमेंट ये हम क्रिएट करते हैं. यहां पर थोड़ी सी मैं आपको इंट्रोडक्शन देता हूं, लेकिन ये बिल्कुल मेमोराइज नहीं करना. यू डोंट हैव टू मेमोराइज इट, जस्ट योर फॉर योर कॉन्सेप्ट ओनली. Business document, we needed to create the project charter. Which are the business document? Business case, business management plan, some agreements which you have created already with maybe this existing subcontractor. Because you are from the client side, project manager from the client side, so you need this agreement as well. And the both consideration in enterprise environmental factor and organizational process assets, which we learn in EEF and OPA. So these inputs, that's mean these artifacts are something we needed to create the project charter. But don't memorize it. No need to memorize. In the exam, nobody is asking you about these input. What are the input? This is old fashioned. No need. They will not ask you. They will ask direct question to decide. Like I give you three questions. Tools and technique, that's mean methods. Methods you will, what methods you will use to create the project charter. And the output, what you will get it, the project charter. That's mean this is the first process of the project that will create a project charter, but you need some inputs, and tools and technique, that mean methods, and output, what you will get it from that process is the project charter and assumption log. So main concept is project charter of the process. From this process is output project charter. Okay, business case, जैसे हमने पहले भी mention किया था, business case are the sources of information about the project objectives and how the project will contribute to the business goal. This will define the input, business document, business case and benefit management plan. Both you will use it. Business case, the approved business case is the business document most commonly used to create a project charter. It's commonly used to decision making by manager executive above the project level. Above the project level. What is stating? Above the project level. That's mean project manager, above the project manager. The business need and the cost benefit analysis are contained in the business case to justify and establish boundaries of the project. What are the boundaries? It's all. Okay, business case. The business case is created as a result of one or more following: market demand, organization need, customer request, technological advancement, legal requirement, and ecological impact and social need. The project manager does not update or modify business documents since they are not project documents. However, the project manager may make recommendation for project sponsor, because the project sponsor is responsible to create the business case. Project manager is not responsible. But nowadays, they are involving project manager to create a business documents as well, business case and benefit management plan. Next thing, what you need to create the project charter, that is project benefit management plan. How and when the benefit of the project will be delivered. Describe the mechanism that should be in place to measure those benefits. आपको क्या करना है, टारगेट बेनिफिट्स देखने हैं, उसके अंदर क्या क्या इंक्लूड होने चाहिए, वो होने चाहिए. स्ट्रेटेजिक अलाइनमेंट्स, टाइम फ्रेम ऑफ द रियलाइजेशन, बेनिफिट ऑनर, मैट्रिक्स, रिस्क, ये सारा कुछ बेनिफिट मैनेजमेंट प्लान में मेंशन होगा. बेनिफिट मैनेजमेंट प्लान, इसका जो टेम्पलेट है यहाँ पर शो किया गया है. जैसे इंट्रोडक्शन है, क्या प्रोजेक्ट है, रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज, इंफॉर्मेशन मैनेजमेंट, एश्योरेंस, ये पॉलिसी होगी. इंश्योरेंस, बजट, स्केड्यूल, इंटरफेस, प्रोसीजर क्या होगा, क्वांटिफाई, वैल्यू, प्लान बेनिफिट, रियलाइजेशन कब और कहाँ होंगे, रियलाइज्ड बेनिफिट, कैसे हम बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं इनसे. तो बिजनेस डॉक्यूमेंट्स में दो हमारे पास बिजनेस डॉक्यूमेंट है, बिजनेस केस एंड बेनिफिट मैनेजमेंट प्लान. द स्पॉन्सर इज responsible. The project manager may recommend changes only. Project manager can recommend, only recommend. He cannot change the business case and benefit management plan. The sponsor is responsible for both documents. And you need to both initial agreements, initial intentions for the project. Agreements may take the form of contract, letter of intent, verbal agreement, emails, and other written agreements that can be used to create a project charter as well, because it will affect these documents, these agreements can affect on the project charter as well, because you have predefined some emails, maybe some verbal agreements, maybe letter of intent you have already issued to the customer, contractor. And other influences which we already discussed, EEF and OPA, external, it can be an internal as well. Process, policies, procedure, same thing here explained already, which we discussed in last lecture, organizational culture and structure, employee capability, resource availability, and other things as well. And internal, same EF, internal marketplace, external, physical environments, financial consideration, government and industry standards, commercial database, social and cultural influences and issues, legal restriction. OPA, same processes, policies, procedure, you have to take care about them. Then you can make the project charter. Here, the first thing, what technique, what method you can use to create the project charter. The first and easiest way to create the project charter, that you can hire a consultant or somebody, individual or a group or a team, that they are expert to create the charter. You don't have to worry about that you are going to make the charter. Maybe sponsor will ask you to make the project charter from the project manager, but you can, if you don't have expertise in that project or project charter, you are not expert to create the project charter, you can hire individual, some group or some from your organization as well. तो हाँ, आप यहाँ पर ये भी देख सकते हैं कि सिमिलर प्रोजेक्ट लास्ट टाइम पे एक बंदे ने आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में प्रोजेक्ट चार्टर क्रिएट किया था, उसको आप लेके आ सकते हैं, वो बना दे, आपका इजीएस्ट वे हो जाएगा. आपको कोई इशू नहीं है, आप खुद नहीं बनाते, दूसरों को एक्सपर्टीज हायर करके आप यूज कर लेते हैं. तो इस तरह से आप प्रोजेक्ट चार्टर क्रिएट करते, सबसे इसको कहते हैं एक्सपर्ट जजमेंट, और ये सबसे इजीएस्ट वे होता है कि खुद नहीं बनाना, हायर कर लेना है. नेक्स्ट हमारे पास कुछ टेक्निक्स हैं जो कि हमने डाटा गैदरिंग करनी है चार्टर के क्रिएशन के लिए. तो सबसे पहले हम क्या करते हैं, इन बहुत सारी डाटा गैदरिंग की टेक्निक्स हैं. लेट्स से बेंचमार्किंग, ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग, प्रॉम्प्ट लिस्ट, चेक लिस्ट, इंटरव्यूज, मार्केट रिसर्च, क्वेश्चनियर एंड सर्वेज, एंड फोकस ग्रुप. But we will discuss here only 3 related to project charter only. So first of all, brainstorming. What is the brainstorming? The main concept of brainstorming is to generate a new idea. If there is written in the question that you are going to generate a new idea for new innovations, new things, because charter is a new document, and it has not any problem, that not existing problem that you are facing. No, it's a new document. If there is something new and you need to create it, and some new innovation, and you need to generate some new ideas about that one, so you will do a brainstorming session. That's when you will collect all the team members, all the stakeholders which are related to that activity, are like project charter. You will make a meeting, and you will ask the ideas from your team in that meeting. Maybe the sponsor is also included in that meeting. So everybody will give you an idea that we need to do it, we need to do it. This is the best idea to create charter. They will give you opinions. They will give you new ideas to generate the project charter. So this is the main concept of brainstorming. That you collect the people and make a meeting and ask them, give us a new idea. Interviews are special, that is confidential information. If you need confidential information from any stakeholders, and you will take him directly, that's called interview. So interviews, you know that one is a common term. The second thing is focus group. Bring together pre-qualified stakeholder and subject matter expert to learn about their expectation. You can ask the stakeholder as well, because pre-qualified stakeholder, you will collect them, the subject matter expert, same subject. Let's say you have a construction project, or you have another project or research. We'll take an example from construction side. If you are going to discuss and create a charter for construction project, definitely you will bring the stakeholders who are expert in that field. Bridge construction, building construction, high-rise building construction. You will bring them and those subject matter experts, and bring them on one table. Then you will discuss that we are going to make a project charter, give us a suggestion. So selective peoples or selective group, then when you will combine them in one meeting, that's called focus group. Brainstorming is combine, everyone can join it, every stakeholder. That is created by the team created by the project manager. But here in focus group, the special team, the related team to the particular project, that called a focus group. So both technique you can use them to create the project charter. So first, if you are going to unlimited project charter, okay, you can combine brainstorming session. You can make a brainstorming. But you are going to focus one thing, okay, bring the focus team to create that. You will not use all the technique. You need maybe one or two technique. That's what we were discussing in tailoring system. You don't need to take all the techniques, data gathering technique. No, you need maybe one or two you need. That's why you need to tailor that. Every process you need to tailor. Integration, project charter, identify stakeholder. Any process what you are doing, what you are going to do on your project, you have to decide and you have to tailor it first. What technique do you need? Here we will understand every technique. But later on the project and in the exam point of view, you have to decide which technique is better, which technique he is asking. So you will decide it. So, mainly when he is asking for new generation of ideas, then you will select a brainstorming. If he is asking about confidential information, you will select interviews. And if he is asking about subject matter expert or special group, then you will say focus group. Here, anything question, any queries? Jay, Sachin.
No.
Clear everything? Clear everything?
Clear.
Yes.
Great. Next is our discussion on interpersonal and team skills. There are many team interpersonal skills here written. Let's say conflict management, culture awareness, decision making, emotional intelligence, facilitation, influencing, leadership, meeting management, motivation, negotiation, networking, observation and conversation, political awareness, and team building. These all are interpersonal and team skills. That's mean in PMP you are going to discuss all of them. In PMP, you are going to discuss all of them. But we had we have tailored these interpersonal skill for special and for the project charter. Here we will use three of them. First is conflict management and facilitation and meeting management. Three of them we will discuss here only for project charter. That's mean we tailored them from that from those three. We will not use all of them. Maybe in practical perspective, we will use only maybe one. Conflict management, maybe facilitation, maybe meeting management. One of them maybe you need it on that particular project. So first of all, we will discuss conflict management. Conflict management में आप ये देखते हैं conflicts are unavoidable. Always, if there are conflicts, you cannot avoid them. Source of conflict, there are most common sources are time, prioritization, and resource. These are the most common sources of the conflicts. Sometimes the first of all the timing. I need this time. I need maybe some members they agree. We'll do this activity on this time. Some member they will not agree. Then no, we will not do in the morning. We need to do this in the evening. After 1 hour, 2 hours, like this, they will not agree. So first conflict on the project, then the common source of the conflict is time. The second is prioritization. That first we will do it this one, and the other party they'll say no. Yes. So maybe one party will agree that we will do it in, let's say activity A, and the other party say no, we will start from activity B. Maybe another party there is another no, we will need to start the activity C. So prioritization also is a common source for conflicts. Resources, some resources also is a common source. Others are sources for the conflicts are cultural differences. Maybe one of your team member is from another station or another country, another city, another location. He has a different culture. Other team member, he has a different culture. They cannot accept each other. So this is also conflict situation. It will become a situation for conflicts. Technical issues, some technical issues. It's also the source of the conflict. Scope changes, different interest of stakeholders, administrative procedures, decline changes, change request, cost, and least common source is a personality. Somebody don't like to see other person. So this is the least common. But the most common is time, prioritization, and resource. This is the best practices which we learn from whole world. That's why we are learning here the common. Yes, Sachin. Jay.
Uh, Technical issues means in what sense? I mean, what type of technical issues we are
Uh,
into?
let's say, let's say, you are arguing with a civil engineer. You are arguing with a mechanical engineer, and during the meter, the technical issue they are discussing the one plant issue, and they said no, we need to install this way. He said no, this is the wrong way, and you have some conflict in between
Okay.
the way of technical issue. So this is the technical issue basically. Scope changes. If there is some scope changes, they said, oh, we don't accept it. Somebody said, no, this is legal, you can accept it. They have argued with them also. So these are the conflict sources. How we can avoid the conflicts using a project management plan. If you have already project management plan with you, then you can use it and agree all of the member on one platform, that is project management plan. Then conflict will be finished. Otherwise, the second option is clear communication, informing the team about the changes, key decision, constraint, project charter, etc. In your common life as well, where you are working right now in your organization as well, if you are not informed by your management, within your team there are many conflicts. Within your team, if you see around surrounding you, daily basis you have some conflict with your higher management because they are not taking you in confidence, and they are not taking their team in confidence. Every day you have a conflict that our manager is doing like this, our manager is doing like this, our function manager is not good, not he is not taking interest in our activities, he is not appreciating us. These are the some conflicts basically, because there is not clear communication. They are not informing you, they are not getting your confidence, they are not motivating you. That's why some conflict become a serious after that, some slowly after 6 months, 1 year, and finally the team members say, no, I need to leave this organization, I need to go, because they are not giving us some values. That's why a leader is most important for the project. Leader, I'm not saying only manager, the project manager should be a leader as well. Setting a ground rules. If you if you set the ground rules, also you can avoid the conflicts. That if we are going to organize a meeting, brainstorming session, or some meeting, or facilitation, or a workshop, then you will set a rules that somebody, if one guy will talk, nobody will talk. No need to bring the mobiles. You cannot open your calls at the during the meeting. So these are the some rules that somebody talk and next will talk later on. So that these are the some rules you can define before the start of the meeting. So you maybe you will avoid the conflict. Otherwise, you will have a conflict as well. Conflict. Let the people who are in the conflict solve them. जो conflict may involve है, let's say Sachin and Jay, they are in conflict right now. I will try let Sachin and Jay argue and finish the conflict. I will not step in your conflict. This will be the first approach. Don't interfere somebody who has in conflict, some party who has in conflict. Don't interfere. Let them to solve. If the conflict is unsolved, then you will step in and you will see whether issue not appropriate to the code of the ethics, because every organization they make the code of ethics. Code of ethics will define this activity or this action or this conflict is appropriate or not appropriate. If the issue not appropriate to the code of ethics, then the PM should report the issue to the higher management. This is your first step. Or if you are going to see this issue is appropriate to the code of ethics, then use the conflict resolution technique. Then PM should have some quality and PM should have some skills to resolve the conflict. That's why today we are going to understand and learn about the conflict resolution techniques. The first technique for the conflict resolution is collaborating. With this technique, both or all parties openly discuss differences and try to incorporate multiple viewpoints to arrive at consensus. Collaboration leads to win-win situation. So this is this is the explanation how we will collaborate and solve problem-solving technique. Project manager will bring both parties and bring them to in one table and discuss openly. Both parties should to discuss openly to resolve what are the differences, to discuss the differences, and then project manager will see both point of view, and then he will bring them to arrive at one consensus. This will called a 50-50% chances that first party will win 50%, another party will win also 50%. That's mean they will compromise or they will collaborate. Not compromise, collaborate with each other. This is called a win-win situation. The both parties will win. Nobody will lose. Another technique that's called a solution that brings some degree of satisfaction. Here you will lose something. Let's say here they will satisfy this differences, but here you will lose something in compromising, reconciling. That will be also lose-lose situation. That maybe 100% they will say okay, we will not do it, and the other party also say they will not do it. Okay, both parties will agree to finish the also conflict. This is the second thing that you will do it, compromising or reconciling. The third technique, that one is smoothing. This technique makes some concessions and it emphasizes agreement rather than the differences of opinion. It does not result permanent complete resolution of conflict. Smoothing. Smoothing is temporary solution which you will resolve the conflict only time being. Let's say for 1 day, 2 day, you resolve them and wait for the final decision. Wait for the next permanent decision. Wait for the permanent solution. So you need to just resolve for a time being. Let's say both parties are not agreed to one point, or they are arguing, continue arguing. As a project manager, what you will do? You will say, okay, we will do this, 1, 2, 3 step, and temporary solution. This is the solution. Later on, tomorrow we will discuss again, then we will see a permanent solution. So this called accommodating or smoothing. Forcing. This technique involves a pushing one point of view that expense of another. It is a win-lose situation. Forcing, that's mean directing somebody, like one-man army, that he decided that this is the solution, right? In that case, one party will lose, another party will win. So that called a win-lose situation. So one of the party will lose and one of the party will win. So this forcing technique on the project we are not using commonly, but in some cases the project manager they can use it because they need to solve the conflict, because it's not the appropriate to the this is appropriate to the code of ethics. That's he need to solve it. In some cases he has to decide by forcing. In some cases he has to smooth the conflict. In other cases maybe compromising, maybe collaborating. These are all techniques to solve the conflict as well. The last technique is the withdrawal avoidance. With this technique, parties retreat or postpone the decision on a problem. Dealing with the problem is a PMIism. Therefore, the withdrawal is not usually the best choice of resolving conflict, though there may be a situation where it's necessary. Sometimes what we do as a project manager, we avoid them. Let them do what they are doing. We're not bringing them to on one table. Yes?
Can you please change slide? The one now discussing, yes.
Yes. Are you asking? Are you looking now, right now?
Yes, now it's visible here.
What was the problem? Your technical issue, something?
Yeah, I was not able to see this slide. That's why I called you.
Withdrawal. Can you see now?
Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay. Withdrawal avoidance. Sometimes as a project manager, what we do, we avoid the conflict actually. We are looking that somebody is conflicted. Both team members, they are arguing. Both parties, they are arguing. We don't, take interest on that. We avoid them. So this called avoidance or withdrawal. So this is not a common technique, but sometimes you need them on the project. But most of the time, you have to solve them because you are responsible as a project manager, responsible to solve the conflicts. That's why PMIism is to solve the problem, not to avoid, not to withdraw. Remember, the collaborating or problem solving choices are generally the best answer. This is the clue for the answer as well, for exam point of view. Remember, the collaborating or problem choices and problem solving choices are generally the best answer. And the forcing is usually the worst. Is the worst. If the question is asking you what is the worst case for to solve the conflict, then you will choose forcing. But it depends on the situation. The question sometimes it will depend on the situation. Otherwise, generally, the question will asking you what is the best choice to resolve the conflict. Best choice will be problem solving or collaborating, and the worst choice will be forcing. In this slide, you can see it clearly. We need to find the root cause of the conflict first, then we need to resolve the root cause. See here, if you can see withdrawal, there is one party, there is second party, satisfaction increase, satisfaction increase, withdrawal, both of them. See, PM is not interested, and both parties are involved in the conflict. And accommodating, smoothing, temporary solution, smoothing, temporary solution. Then you have to go for permanent solution. This problem solving, compromising, forcing. These are the permanent solution, three permanent solution. Sometimes after the smoothing, you have to go for compromising, and sometimes from smoothing, you have to go for problem solving. The best technique is to solve the problems or solve the conflict is problem solving. And forcing, also is there is one worst condition. If you don't have any solution and you cannot solve the problem and you cannot even compromise, then the last choice is forcing. That is also a permanent solution. And this is a win-loss situation. Another interpersonal team skill is facilitation. Bring key stakeholders together to define product requirements, can be used quickly, define cross-functional requirements, and reconcile stakeholder differences. Well, facilitated session can build trust, foster relationship, and improve communication among the participants. As a project manager, you have to just facilitate what they need during their meeting. You have to just facilitate and let them decide. Is it whether it is a workshop, whether it is a brainstorming? If you are going to just facilitate them, and you are not going to lead them, or not you are going to be a key person. If you are just a facilitator, you have to give them everything. Let's say they need a projector to show the existing of the project, the business case document and the benefit management plan. You will provide them what technology they need in during the meeting, what things they need, which subject expert matter they need. You have to facilitate every kind of every kind of information and every kind of requirement during that facilitation and during that meeting. You have to provide them and let them to decide for final decision. And this meeting or brainstorming session should be productive. You have to try to make it productive. This is your facilitation role. Another interpersonal team skill, that is meeting management. Meeting management is the taking step ensure meeting their intended objective effectively and efficient. The following steps should be used to meeting planning. Prepare and distribute the agenda, starting the objective of the meeting. Ensure that the meeting start and finish at the published time. Ensure the appropriate participants are invited and attend. Stay on topic, manage expectation, issues, and conflict during the meeting. Record all the action and those who have been allocated the responsibility for the completing of action. So, when you are going to arrange a meeting, then you should know about the meeting management. These are the steps you have to take care: preparing, ensuring, and which participant will invite, and make sure them they are attending. Stay on topic. Do not go beyond the topic. Manage expectation. from the stakeholders. That means stakeholder, the participants, issues, conflict during the meeting. So you have to manage the conflict and issues and expectation. Record all any minutes of meeting. Minutes of meeting you have to record. Later on you can distribute to the stakeholders who were attended that meeting. Meeting management same for effective meeting management. An effective meetings need to be have objective. There should be agenda. The agenda should be sent to the related stakeholders. We should only invite the relevant stakeholders. Meeting should be start on time. If the stakeholders do not know each other, they should be introduced to everyone. And someone should take a note. These are the steps when you are going to manage a meeting. Sometimes you are not managing a meeting, but you are attending a meeting, and you also attend. Project team may attend a project meeting to develop the scope management plan. Attendees may include the project managers, project sponsors, elected project team members, selected stakeholder, anyone with responsibility for any of the scope management process and other as needed. So everybody can participate in that meeting. So that means sometimes you need some meetings to finalize the project charter. Finally, when you will do these activities and you will use these methods, then you can finalize the project charter. What is the project charter actually? Project charter, project purpose, that will show the project purpose. What is the purpose of that project? Measurable objective. It shows you the objective, measurable objective, success criteria. It will show you the project success criteria also will be written in the project charter. High level project description, high level description of the project, boundaries and key deliverables. Project approval requirement and risk. So everything in high level that will be included in the project charter. This is the main concept of charter. If you are in the exam, if he is asking in the question that we need to see the high level of the risks, high level description, project description, where you will see which document do you need. In that time, you will answer the project charter. Project charter should be broad, formally recognized by the PM, authorize the project existence. List of the stakeholder of the project, the major stakeholder. Here, the list of the major stakeholder, which you know already, which are the pre-stakeholder that you can say also. Not all, just major stakeholder, like sponsor, who is sponsor, what are the team, who is involved in your staff, and who is the sponsor, who is project manager, and who is the program manager if there is program manager. So these are the stakeholders. You can list them. List the name, authority of the sponsor, the person authorizing and approving the charter, authorize the PM to spend money and other companies' resources. So ये जो चार्टर है ये अथोराइज भी करता है प्रोजेक्ट पीएम को कि वो प्रोजेक्ट बजट को यूज कर सके. प्रोवाइड द प्रोजेक्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव इंक्लूडिंग हाई लेवल रिक्वायरमेंट्स and success and exit criteria. It also shows you the success criteria for the project and as well as exit criteria. When and how you can exit the project. Exit criteria, that's mean if you are going to abort the project and if you are going to final that project, how you will escape it. Include constraint, assumption and high level risk. Everything that shows you high level, that's mean you are in project charter. Connect the project to the work taking place in the organization. That's why this is the project charter. So this is the template of the project charter, the project name, project description, project manager, who is project manager, authority level of the project manager, what are the authorities, what he can do. He can spend the money. He can use the resources. That are the authority level. Sponsor, signature and date approved. That means sponsor is responsible for that project charter. If you have any changes on the project charter, you cannot directly. Project sponsor is responsible to change the project charter. Project manager can create the project charter, but he cannot change it. The authority the sponsor has authority to change the project charter. Business case, what is the reason to take that project? Estimated budget, total budget, high level budget. This project will complete in 20 million. like 30 million, 50 million, the high level budget, total budget of the project. Project objective, what are the objective, what we are going to do it, that we will define high level here. Project approval requirement, what are the requirements that the project you can start it, approval requirements. That's mean you will plan to start the plan and identify the stakeholders. Then here you will mention the requirements. High level product description, key deliverables. Product, what you are going to do, what you are going to produce, what you are going to make a product, what are the results, key deliverables, when and yani, which are the deliverables you will what deliverable you will produce, and these deliverables are once or two times, three times during the project life cycle. So you will write here key deliverables. Pre-assigned resources. Pre-assigned resources, both resources. We're talking here both resources, physical resources and human resources, both. Maybe some equipment, heavy machinery, and some team. Maybe you have already team with you for project. That called a project team. So you will also write here the team, human resource and physical resource, both of them. Key stakeholders, as I mentioned before, also key stakeholders. You will write the names of the stakeholder, like sponsor. Who is sponsor? You will write here project manager, team members, and other department who are involved in that project. Stakeholder requirement. What are their requirement actually? Department, government departments, sponsor requirement, project team requirement. These are all requirements from the respective stakeholder. You will write it, but high level, only high level. High level assumption. What you are going to assume that this project will complete in one month. You are assuming that within the budget we will complete the project, and you are assuming that which location we are going to start the project, and that location the water has don't have we don't have any problem with the water supply and electricity supply. This is your assumption. During your project, maybe you have a problem with water supply and you have a problem with electricity supply, but you are assuming that everything will be fulfilled during your project and you can complete within the time and within the budget. These are the assumption, high level assumption you will write here. High level constraint. What are the constraints you are facing right now? What are the position you will write here, but high level. Let's say risk. Risk is a major constraint for you. Maybe the budget is a major constraint. You will write here. These are the things opposing us. High level risk. Which are the risk? Negative risk. That maybe you are in that location. Maybe tsunami. Rarely chances, but there are rarely chances, but there are some chances to come to disturb you during your project. Tsunami, or maybe earthquake. The area which you are choosing to produce some output or to do the project, you are facing that area, that you are facing that problem. Maybe earthquake will come and your project will finish. These high level risk you will mention here. Summary of milestone. Which milestone you will complete? What are the names? Let's say charter, project charter is finished. This is first milestone. The second milestone, you complete your plans. Okay, this is the second milestone. Execution, starting of execution of the project. This is the third milestone. And when you complete the execution, this is the last milestone. You can say this is summary of milestone. Project exit criteria, how you will exit the project. You will define here. Project success criteria. That means you will also write here the success criteria. If you write here, let's say we need approval from that department, government department, then you will accept the project. The client will accept the project. So this is the success criteria, that you complete the project product, and also you need to show them the approval of the government officials. Then they will accept it. And this is your criteria of success. This document contains the list of assumption and constraint identified throughout the project life cycle. Always test your assumption. This is the key for you for the project charter. You have to test your assumptions, all assumptions. Let's say what I told you before, what I discussed before. You are assuming that the water supply will not cut during your project life cycle, but in between, in the middle, in the execution of project, you have problem with, but you have to test your assumption. Either it was right or it was wrong. Yes, anything?
Okay, one more thing about this assumption. Last slide.
Hmm.
Hello. Yes,
Yes, yes,
it's
Sachin.
just identified throughout the project life cycle. That means
Yeah. Hmm.
during the project we just keep saying anything like a constraint and identify something what we are not identified before or not assumed before. That we can
Yes.
mention in the charter or not.
Yeah. No, you cannot mention in the charter. But this is the other document that called assumption log.
Okay.
There are two
So
outputs
project
from this.
charter is completed, must be completed before the starting of project first stage
Yes.
with
And
all
then you will
assumption
create
whatever it is.
assumption log as well. Then you will create assumption log as well. And you can keep updated it. You can keep update this assumption log. Maybe your assumption is wrong. Next day when you start the activity, your assumption was wrong
Yes,
and you
that's
will
what I'm telling.
update it. Yes, you will update it
So
that my
that's
assumption was
that's
wrong.
the assumption log.
Yes, assumption log. You will create assumption log. Okay. Anything else?
No, now it's okay.
Huh, what is your situation right now? Can we move forward a little more? Jay?
Yeah.
They're
Okay,
already
good.
under sleeping sleeping mode right now.
Who sleeping?
Jay under sleeping mode right now. He's not saying anything.
Ah.
Jay.
Jay, are you sleeping?
Yes. No, no.
Are you with us?
Yes.
Because I'm not listening since 20 minutes right now.
Yeah, I'm with you only.
Okay, great.
Okay, we
So
keep
is
for 5-10 minutes. Okay.
okay, no problem. So next step after the charter, next step is to identify the stakeholders. First step, make the charter and produce a charter. The second step is to identify the stakeholders. Now, in the charter, we discussed that the high level of stakeholder, the major stakeholder, the key stakeholder, we identified already. But we did not identify all of the stakeholder of the project. We did not until now. Now, this is the step where we identify the stakeholder. After the charter, the high level all requirements from the project we already finished in the charter, and assumption log also we created. The next step is to identify the stakeholder. We know who is stakeholder. We know, let's say people, group, organization, and then some decision. Maybe they impacted by these by your decision. Some people they are affected from your decision. For some activity, some people they are affected by your activity, and some output. Some group, some people they are affected by your some output. So these are all called stakeholders. Okay, here this slide also says an individual, group, organization who may affect and affected by the decision, activity, or outcome of the project, they are also stakeholder.
Yeah, Mr. Akbar, can we end the session now?
Okay, no problem at all.
Day after tomorrow?
Yes, no problem, no problem. Because I am available until 11 because I already make a slot for you for 2 hours. Whenever
Yeah.
you need, you can ask me to finish it. You can ask me to stop it anyway. So just take care of this slide and I will share you these slides and I will share you the video lecture as well. So
Because
understand
this
it
one is a
tomorrow.
big presentation and it will take, means we'll have to go through it thoroughly again.
Yes,
This one
yes,
is
yes,
presentation, 64 slides.
yes, yes. No problem at all. But it's not a 64. We finished before that one. You know, some of the slides we already finished. Let's say
Yeah, yeah.
16 slides.
Brain dump, we finished in
Yeah,
last lecture. Yes, yes.
yes, 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 yes. So almost let's say less than 50 slides a week. But it's not all. You are not going to review all because some of the topics I exempted it already.
Yeah.
As per your knowledge only, I am giving you something that is good for your exam as well.
Right. Right.
No problem. After tomorrow, we'll start again. Identify stakeholder, and then we will see another things as well. Anyway, if you have any questions tomorrow, I will share you some questions related to charter. Then answer them. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Take
so
care
we'll
and
meet
see
in
you.
Thursday.
Okay.
Huh?
Thank you. Thank
Sachin?
We'll
you.
meet on Thursday.
Yes. Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Thursday 9 a.m. 9 p.m.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Same.
Tomorrow is Wednesday, right?
So
Yes.
Thursday 9 p.m. Right?
Yes. Thursday 9 p.m. Thursday 9 p.m. We will meet again.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
See you guys.
Good
See
night.
you. Good night, Sachin and Jay.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.